Oh, g'day everyone. Welcome to Barkarati, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer, and it's that time of the week where I get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course have to share the mic with my two idiot mates who I love. Let's bring in the first one, Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, exalted one.
BP.
Love?
Oh, sure, mate. Why not? I'm there for you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see everyone, hear everyone, whatever you might say. Been watching you a little bit on the TV today and yesterday.
What?
Yeah, with the Edgels.
Yeah. What are they calling him? Brad Ginnivan. They're calling him Sailor Boy or something. He's doing it for Nick Douglas.
It's been okay, and there was a point where your name was mentioned as you crossed the finish line in 6th place or something like that. So that was kind of cool.
The fourth. Yeah, we haven't had much to hang our chest on, so it's cool. All good. Let's bring in Bicey so I can continue the whole thing.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
It's Nick Bice.
It's like a whole changing of the world here, isn't it? Like you're bizarre. In the Etchels now. You look as though you've dropped a couple. By the way, yeah. You've kind of
good 10.
stepped away from the normal size human.
Well, it does accentuate
coming into Etchels human.
Yeah.
But it's the midwinters or the Australasian Championships as they call it, sailed out in Mooloolaba, 21 odd boats. Yeah. So
it's interesting though because I thought, Bice will be there, BP will be there, Fritz will be there.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
It's only Sandy, and of course your skipper David Dunn, BP. You've had to because you've got things going on.
I'm remotely coaching.
Yeah, he's a happy soul, isn't he? He's a great man.
Yeah,
he's happy when he's doing well. Honestly, he knows the fleet. He's been around a long time in the fleet. He knows how hard it is.
Yeah.
And it's not getting any easier. But he had a great second day, which is well worth talking about. But he's a very jovial man, larger than life, one would say. He's a large man.
Yes. Yeah, that's cool.
So what are we? We're 2 days in. We're recording on a Saturday night for everyone.
Correct. Yeah.
Just really touching into our social life, but it's all for the listener. And speaking of the listener, a little update then, Jordan, on your current positioning within the fleet.
No idea.
No idea.
I don't look. I'm sailing with a mate. I haven't been in Etchell for 20 years, and sailing with a mate. So we sailed together race 1 first time. So
still got it.
I just no clue how to. I mean, all the fundamentals of tuning a boat. I'm going, yeah, we should do this, and they go, oh no, you can't. You've got to do this. And on this new rig, BP, is this right? Like, as it gets windier, you move the mast base aft rather than forward?
We don't touch our mast base.
Yeah, right.
No, it's just all.
Well, we haven't touched much. We sort of play with the caps and lowers a little bit. Anyway, but they're squeezing the jib super hard, and it's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah,
anyway, I'm not loving the Etchell. I'm a bit sore.
Horrible boat.
I'm a bit sore.
Most uncomfortable boat one could sail, without a doubt.
Just that there's lots of them.
Apart from that, bloody good.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, nice bunch of blokes. That's our people. Nice bunch of people. But it's good. Glamour conditions, of course, in Queensland. So that works for everyone. But nothing. I honestly, when the presentation comes on, because we're not threatening, I just walk off and go and get all my work done because I know that there's no chance
you won't be
getting called up. So, but yeah, what's good about him? You can't make a mistake.
No, you cannot.
Because you don't get it back. It's not like other classes, the keel boats. Once you make a mistake, it's in your back pocket. And the whole, my reckoning with Etchels is it's attrition, like everyone's equal and then someone makes a mistake and then the person that makes the least mistake.
Yeah, it's not about jumping out.
Yeah, it's letting people.
It's about not fucking
behind.
up.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's really noticeable is the good guys are generally always pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, if you win the start, there's a fair chance you're going to win the race. It's that tight, so you really got to nail the starts. So, but anyway,
good. Well, it's good to watch. One more day.
Speaking of nailing the start, our next guest, that he did do.
Yes.
Please go on, Jordan.
Oh, you just dropped me. I thought, nice segue. Bosh is onto it. Here we go. So our guest tonight we'll bring in is fantastic bloke, absolutely fantastic. If you haven't met him, he's a barrel of fun, and he's just not scared of having a go. We had Liz on last week, who's not scared of having a go, and this bloke's the same sort of. He's out of the
Speaking
same
with
mold.
What we just saw, Liz, she's joined the Ocean Race this week.
Yes.
She is on board.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, our guest this week we spoke to on episode 155, and we were talking back then about what he calls the little lap of Oz. It was a
little Aussie lap.
The little Aussie lap. Yep. It was a little bit of a false start first time, but he went and he's gone again, and he set off in really good conditions, and he just smoked around.
We've been following him, obviously, mentioned him a few times throughout the show, the last several shows.
Yep.
And keeping an update on his tracker.
Probably really important to point out that it's this attempt is to get around Australia the fastest time, which is currently held by Lisa Blair.
Single-handed, unassisted.
Non-stop, unassisted.
Yep.
Now, obviously, there's a story to come tonight, but the thing is, there's a couple of other things here, and that is that it's also the smallest boat, solo, and the youngest person to do this. So there's quite a few things here that are important. Exciting to have a chat to him.
Yeah, so cool. So this is one of our mates who's having a red hot go. Hasn't gone to plan 2/3 of the way around, and he's just been hit by a massive storm, and we're going to talk about all the consequences. So let's welcome to Bar Karate, Xavier Doerr. Xav, mate, good to see you. Welcome back. Thanks for joining.
Good to hear from you again, mate. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
We wanted to hear from you, but not whilst you're on dry land.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. Hence why we got you now.
Yeah, I was going to try and talk to you blokes while I was in the middle of the Southern Ocean, but I'm back on land for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrong state though, mate. I've got the brisket on down here in SA.
We had you ready.
We could still organise that. That sounds good.
It doesn't matter if you stop again now, does it? So you're all good.
No. I'm still going. I still want to keep doing the lap, but now it doesn't matter so much if it's non-stop. So I might be able to come visit you guys.
Oh, beauty! I've put the dry rub on it. She's ready to go. The charcoal is just firing as we speak.
Oh, we love a dry rub.
So, mate, I guess we have to touch on the ending, and then we'll go back to the beginning. I reckon. Obviously, we've all been following. You've been leading the record. You had Lisa tucked in there, and then bit of wind on the horizon. And what happened, mate? You got smashed.
Oh, absolutely. I was heading down and getting ready to round the corner on the west coast, and I knew I was heading into some big weather and wind, but I got much bigger weather and wind than I expected much sooner. So I was looking at going into about 50 knots 24 hours after I actually did. The weather came about 24 hours earlier, and it intensified much, much harder than I expected it to. So I got hit with 80 knots and what were 12-meter seas, but I reckon they were much bigger than 12-meter seas.
Right.
Off about 200 mile off the coast of WA, which was pretty nuts.
Right. And what happened? Did you get knocked down? Did you get rolled? How happened? So
basically, as I came into that storm, I was doing quite good speeds. The swell was kind of beam-ish, and I was kind of going into it. 25 knots intensified pretty quickly to 80 knots.
Wow.
And that had
Wowzers.
that had me pinned down. I capsized, and I define capsize as masthead in water. I capsized about 10 times.
Yeah, that'll do it. We concur.
Yeah. I wasn't keeping tally, but yeah, I was getting slammed out there, and the waves were they were ridiculous. So when I got hit with that wind, I had basically my smallest reef jib up, and as like I couldn't have anything smaller up in those swells, because basically I'm going into the swells. I need to have that power to get over the waves. So as you can imagine, 25 knots trying to get through that sort of stuff is just paramount. So I was trying to push the boat over the waves. Then when I got hit with the 80 knots, I basically was pinned down, and I had to get out to get the mainsail down even more. I basically had it below the third reef, and I had to get outside of the boat and tie the mainsail down even further. It ripped off one of my backstays, one of my runners, took out my lazy jacks, completely blew up the guts of the jib. And anyone that's seen the photo,
I've seen the photo of that one. That's a beauty.
Yeah. And a lot of people that have seen the photo go, "Oh, he's got that massive jib up." That's actually the reefing jib. So I had it fully hoisted for dramatic effect, but the actual sail area that was up when it got hit was much smaller than that.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, came into that, got the mainsail secured, and just something that'll stick with me forever is when I first came out of the cabin, tethered to the cockpit floor and the lifeline just further forward. I kind of, the boat was still pinned to the side, and I kind of climbed up over and looked over the gunnel, and just like the magnitude of the waves will stick with me forever. I can't even describe them. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful and monumental. They were like mountains. It's
I can relate to that, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, it was the spitting image of that one video where the tanker is just slamming through those waves. The one that they use for every documentary, and it was that. And I was just shocked at how
real it
similar it was. Yeah, how real. Because I've been through several really, really bad storms that people go, that was the worst I've ever been in. I've sailed with guys that have been through really bad storms, and this thing was just 4 times worse than anything I've seen in the Bass Strait, on the East Coast, or on anything. It was just nuts.
Wow.
Did you manage to get a glimpse of the barometric pressure? Did you get a low at all?
No, I was more so looking for my life raft.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it got down to like 936, I was told, around here. Yeah, so it basically onshore, while that was happening in WA, it was hailing and snowing. So the locals, when I came in, they were just like really, really astounded that I even made it in, because everything was getting torn up here. Like, it's even still, the weather is pretty average all through WA at the moment.
Wow.
One thing I missed there, Zave, was you forgot to say the 2 words, the liquid Himalayas.
Liquid Himalayas is actually like spot on, because you've got the texture and all the water and the wisp and everything. It looks like snow on the waves. It is. Liquid Himalayas is perfect for it.
Yeah, if only there was a few Sherpas out there, of which there was in the end.
Well, yeah, well, eventually, when I came a bit closer, when I was 8 mile out from Fremantle, I did have some Sherpas with me. The amazing people at the Fremantle Sailing Club, headed by Craig, their CEO there. They rallied the
Craggles.
troops and came out. Yeah, he's awesome. It's honestly, Fremantle, I couldn't have pulled into a better place. The people here are so amazing.
Yeah.
And that club is amazing too. It's a beautiful place to be, and probably the best place I could have pulled in out of anywhere.
Absolutely. And I'm just looking at your photo there now, Zoe, and the main is completely shredded as well, and the leech, down the leech at the top of the main.
Yeah, so we've basically the whole head of the main got destroyed. I pulled apart. So that main is on sliders. So
yeah,
the laminate's stretched in some areas, but I'm actually going to continue with that main. I'm rebuilding the head as we speak. So we've got that in the loft, rebuilding the head, and just reinforcing some areas around to make it kind of usable. And I'm pretty confident. I've destroyed all the laminate at the top of the sail, but the rest of the sail is good.
Yeah.
So
Figuratively speaking, once you leave, whenever that date is, once you leave, you're sort of heading across generally in a westerly flow. So you should have sort of, most conditions behind you all the way across there.
Yeah. So I actually, if I popped through that little system that I was in, I would have had the most dreamy run directly to the bottom of Matsuka. Like it's the belt of westerlies is stunning through there, and I just need to get through those big waves again to get down there.
Well, you're exposed going south in a westerly. It's a beam C, and it's not comfortable. Beam C's are the best of times in big pressure with little boats. It's not fun.
I found that to be the case on my way in.
Hey, Zave, before we kind of get back to the start, just going through let's call it the rescue from the guys at Freo, led by Crackles. I read a little blog, something he put on the book, basically saying they dropped some comms off to you because there's not really any comms in, so you could communicate. And then next time around, they chuck you a tow rope, and next thing you know, you're having a little creatures back at the bar.
Oh yeah, I was pretty happy with that, and a burger too. That was the main thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so actually during that storm, part of that was all of my masthead gear got ripped off by the wind. It was so windy that my all my B&G gear at the top actually got decimated. Everything just got all my chook blew up, my VHF blew up. I was having trouble with power because I was getting seaweed caught in the hydro generator, and I didn't have sun for a few days. It was just kind of a perfect little storm there that got me. So I was sailing in under. I was under that. I got the Stormsail up afterwards, so I couldn't get the Stormsail up in 80. Obviously, for I've had a few people going, "What's up with the Stormsail? Do you not have one?" And I sail with the Stormsail, but anyone that's tried to put a Stormsail up in 80 knots would find that
all those people on Facebook have.
Oh yeah. Like I respect the Facebook yacht club, but So I've got to tell you, it's a bit on being on the foredeck in 80 knots on a 21-foot boat. So I got the Stormsail.
Oh, don't we know that, Dicey? The VB Express.
The VB. Well, yeah, correct.
Yeah. So I chucked the Stormsail up, and I was going with that for a bit, but it actually turned out that the boat was sailing nicer just with that jib at the front. And for a good while there, I was doing 5 knots under, with my mainsail basically floating out the back. I also lost all my cockpit bags, which had my sail ties in them. They all got ripped off. It was so strong. They were through bolted. And like when I say I went through a storm, I went through a storm. I did a number, and I actually broke one of the caps. The V1 when I came in and did my initial inspections, I lost a couple of strands. So I'm very happy I came in because I'm very happy that I managed to sail the way I did to keep the rig up. I obviously put a lot of intention into taking care of keeping that rig up, and especially when you lose a runner, that's interesting. But yeah, keeping the stick up was a big one for me, and losing that V would have been pretty bad.
Yep. Yeah.
Did
at any stage you say to yourself, "I'm gonna need a bigger boat"?
Well, look, I definitely had my moment, as every offshore sailor does, where I go, "Bugger this, I'm done." But I was thinking on it, and I really wouldn't have wanted to be there in a bigger boat. I would have lost the rig if I was in a bigger boat, 100%. I wouldn't have made it through that in a bigger boat. But I've got to tell you, I nearly turtled it one time. So I nearly sent it all the way through, and that was a bit on when you're standing half on the roof with the life raft in your hands, just going, okay, if one more wave. I was pinned down. I got hit by the top of one wave and pinned there for about a minute. So yeah, managed to pop that back up. So that was good. So that was the only time I went, oh, this is a bit on. That was that was a big one. But other than that, yeah.
Wow. Was there any stage where you just went, "Oh, I'm in deep trouble here"? Like you thought, like did you get
just that one? Just that moment in particular. Yeah. When you're going, it's a bit of a different feeling when the boat, like, because you're kind of comfortable when you tip it on its side at least, because you know it's going to come back up. But when you feel like the whole thing's going to roll, that's a new feeling. That was definitely a new feeling I unlocked. I've never had that one before.
Far out.
Well, we're bloody glad you're on dry land, my friend.
No, absolutely.
Sounds like a harrowing event, but you're obviously still keen and enthusiastic to get it around the rest of Australia. But before we go into that one though, like, talk us through when you headed off. Like, obviously a huge amount of support, building and built, and big follower the whole way through. It's like been growing and growing. It's been fantastic to watch.
Absolutely, and that's a big part of my amazing team that I've put together. I've got a team which is just amazing, headed by Lee Randall, and they've been instrumental in helping me build that. And that was a big part of my campaign, was getting especially the Southern Seas Marine Starlink I put on, so that I could really keep everyone engaged, and with the support of all my sponsors, especially GCCM, like just keeping. I'm really happy with how the whole campaign has turned out and is going. A lot of people are probably going, "Oh, Xavier's probably crushed at the moment," but if you look at it how it is, I've sailed a Mini 4,200 nautical miles in one hit, and there's only one other person who's sailed a Mini further than that, and he sailed it. Yeah, he was a Vendée Globe sailor, so I'm pretty stoked with what I've actually done so far.
Oh, bravo, mate! Bravo.
Yeah, and longer distance than the Mini Transit, and that's done in 2 stages.
Yeah. Gee, it's a big one. Yeah.
Have you just on that? You touched on the Mini Transit. Have you contacted the Mini Association at all about this? Have you had any comms with them about this?
I spoke to them. I spoke to the Mini Class Association directly when I was in France. I went over after my last attempt. I shot over to Les Sables d'Olonne and a few other places around there. I just kind of wanted to get a bit more established in their community, especially because I'm like running a Mini in Australia. They're what they're like. They're unique boats, and you get some information from the crowd. So I went over there and I did a bunch of pre-races to the Mini SAS, and I spoke to the class association, and they everyone there started calling me the crazy Australian. I thought I'd get a bit of unity, and people going, "Oh yeah, this guy's doing the same sort of thing we're doing." They're like, "You're insane."
The thing that you have to understand, Xavier, is they do it with 80 other people. Okay?
Yeah.
So, whatever happens, you've got 79 people around that are generally not too far away.
Absolutely. Oh, well, yeah.
You are crazy.
You run the wrong way down a highway and everyone calls you nuts. You do it with 100 other people and it's a marathon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, the Mini Class Association directly hasn't been supporting, but the Mini Class as a whole, I've made so many friends in that class, and they're all going, "You are just amazing." They're sending so much support, and I'm getting a lot of support from some of the Vendée guys as well. A lot of the teams have been following, so that's been pretty special.
Cool.
The campaign's really being heard around the world, which I just find so cool. So there's people all over Britain, France, all the European countries are following. Like, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Excellent. Well, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
So, mate, tell us about the lap. You sort of, your halfway lap, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Yeah. You actually seem to have really good weather up until, I don't know, a couple of days ago.
Absolutely. And that's why I went. That's why I went when I went. And,
it was unreal, wasn't it?
That again. Yeah. So again, people are always going to go, "You're nuts for going when you go," but I stuck to the same philosophy. I've researched the absolute to the ends of the earth on how to do this, and it's doing it at that time. It's waiting for a South Australian high to form over South Australia. You ride the high around. You take advantage of that as much as you can, and then you navigate this corner, and you kind of still use that high to get across the bottom and use the belt of westerlies to get over there. And so I wouldn't have changed anything. I was really stoked with. I left it all on the race course in terms of sailing. I don't think I could have done better than I did, and I was really happy with the weather too. So I was doing my own weather. I did all my own weather. That was part of something I wanted to do. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of people giving input. So a lot of pro navigators giving input when I got down to WA. So I actually had a few people donate their time and do some routing for me down the West Coast as well. So I actually had professional routing going into what I went into too. It just didn't plan out the way that, everyone thought it would.
So if we break it down a bit, like 10 days to get to the top of Oz, that's pretty good going. You had the hammer down.
That was fun. Yeah, I pushed it. I call it the East Coast speed run. That was in my breakdown. I was always planning on going really hard on the East Coast, and then my kind of secret weapon was my reef crossing. So if you were watching the tracker, you would have noticed that Lisa went up through the main shipping channel. I took a really, really extreme route. I went for absolute shortest distance, and I crossed the reef really quickly. I was doing 10 knots at points, and just lots of jibes. It was good fun. It was really good fun.
How did you go across the top? Because I've actually done that trip myself across the Gulf Cup and Terrier, and up that whole trip. It can get tricky across there. You're a long way from land, and obviously there's it's all sea effects. So did you have breeze the whole way across?
Not entirely. I had a lot of shifts. The 45-degree wind shift alarm, that became my new reality. It was ridiculous how many wind shifts I got. So that was actually quite tactical. I didn't expect it to be as tactical as it was. It kept me awake a fair amount of time. I enjoyed the top. I did well across the top. I didn't get I didn't go as slowly as I thought I would along the top. I kind of got slowed down near Exmouth a bit. I got a bit unlucky and went a bit slow there. But the thing that stuck me the most about the top of Australia was how lonely it was for me. I didn't actually see a ship.
Wow.
I didn't see anything from like the Thursday Island group over to Exmouth. The only people I had contact with were Border Force planes. So one of my good mates, he actually works for Border Force, and he got the whole Border Force office. They had the tracker up in there.
Oh, cool.
And
they were dive bombing you.
Yeah, they were going, hey, mate, the Cobber Red says hello. Like, the bloke's looking out for you. And I was going, what? This is like Border Force. This is nuts. That was pretty cool. And the planes were doing real low down flybys of me. So that was awesome.
Oh, wow.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Quite the thing up there, isn't it? Good fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about, speaking of Border Force, mate, I think you saw a bit of illegal activity going on in our waters, mate.
Yeah, so up in the Great Barrier Reef, right in the middle of the green zone, I had a big trawler with its nets down, and no AIS or anything, of course, which was great fun. But yeah, that was nuts because I didn't see it until I was really close to it because it didn't have its lights on initially. And then I was in 35 knots jibing, and it was a really tight section of reef. So at that point, I hadn't slept in a really long time too, because I stayed awake for, I don't know, I stayed awake for a very long time getting through the reef because I needed to like constantly be jibing. And so, at like 2 a.m. or something, that fishing boat coming out of nowhere was nuts. And it really kind of angered me having the nets down in the middle of the barrier reef.
Yeah, wow.
Brother. Makes us all mad. Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Mate, get the flare gun out, shoot those bastards.
That's what I reckon.
Well, Yeah. No,
Where do you reckon they were from? Did you get it? Was there any flags on?
On the no, I couldn't. Again, I'm sitting in the cockpit doing runners and jibe.
Yeah.
Oh, you've gone on mute, bud. We've lost you.
5 knots and
there we go.
doing jibes in the Mini is not easy, and navigating as well. I was within 500 meters of reef. Yeah. At one point, I was trying to take little shortcuts, and then having that boat there was just nuts. Wow. So not 500 meters, 0.5 mile.
Right.
Yeah, copy.
Yeah. Cool. So with that whole run, mate, you know, like you fully kitted out your boat. Like I was, you know, obviously I tune in and watch, and you know, you're showing us you're showing us your autopilot, you're showing all the different things you got going on that boat. Was there anything you just thought, and remember your bed kept deflating? Was there anything you thought you'd change?
There's not actually really anything that I am changing. I might add a floating solar panel just to get a little bit more juice in the Southern Ocean. But no, I've got, again, full H5000 system. I've got every bell and whistle I could possibly put on the boat. I've kitted out the boat as well as I can possibly kit it out. There's not much, apart from the repairs I've got to do, there's not much I actually can do to make the boat better. I will be taking a bunch more sleeping mats, but yeah, I was sleeping on basically my clothes and a dry bag. And anyone that's been inside a Mini, it is just so small, and I'm a large unit. I am a very tall bloke, and it punishes the body. So I didn't actually really use my legs for what was it, 35 days?
Is that why you're walking around now?
Yeah, I'm in, like, my body's a temple, but it's like one of the really shitty ones in Thailand where everything. So I'm trying to get myself blood circulating and getting the sleep back, like the REM sleep is a big one. It's really messed with me. The Mini is an unforgiving environment, and I get thrown around in that thing, and it's so hard to eat. It is like, it's dire inside a Mini Transit for anyone that hasn't been in one.
So how did you... Oh, sorry, bud.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the whole eating side of things and the amount of food you took. Too much, too little. Where'd you end up there?
I'm never going to say any amount of food on a boat is too much. I've got enough. I was thinking about I have enough food to get me around the world at the rate that I was eating. For the first 20 days, for the first 15, 17 days, my eating was really poor. I couldn't actually get anything in, so I was only eating Cliff Bars the first couple of days, and then a tin of spaghetti a day. But by the time I got down the West Coast, I was eating 2 freeze-dried meals at least a day, and I was eating my 24-hour meal packs. So I got my eating right in the end, but it is like, eating isn't a pleasure, it's a chore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Take some roast chooks from Coles or Woolies on the kickoff again.
Yeah, I'll get the 2-day-old
Take a bucket.
But how did you fit it all in, mate? As you say, the boat's tiny. Like, you got all this provisioning. You got to, you're going the longest distance one of those things has ever gone. You're trying to, and then how do you fit it all in?
Very, very, very barely. I'm sleeping on my duffel bags. Yeah. I don't, like, I have about 1.5 meters of room in the boat. I can't ever fully extend. I'm curled up in the ball. It's like it's tight in there, and that's why that's why I'm pretty stoked that I got this far.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty big effort. I mean, it's the best part of it's over halfway round.
Actually, it's about 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
6,500 all up, and I've done 4,300, 4,400.
So you're two-thirds the way, which is damn admirable in just in that sense. But so what's the plan? Obviously, you're getting things repaired. You've got the main sort of sort out. Few other little damages. How long do you think you're going to be before you set off?
Well, I'm building a whole new jib. Going
Sew that one back together.
Yeah, I was just going to say a bit of sticky back.
Yeah, well, I was going to go for the sticky back, but I don't know. It's not fashionable.
No, okay, fair enough.
No. That jib is completely done. So I've redesigned. We've gone no battens. I've kind of gone for a heavy-ish Dacron. The design brief was I don't want to feel like I'm using a cruising boat, but I want to make it through the Southern Ocean. I'm building that. I might have to take the mast out. I'm doing it's going to be at least a week and a half until I leave.
I was just looking. Tuesday looks good.
Yeah,
actually.
Nice. That's I'm not leaving here without replacing my my V1 and keep that mast up in the air.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not going to rush at all. I of course want to get going as fast as I can, but I'm not going to leave until the boat is 100% right.
So where are you? Where are you currently? Like you at Freo Yacht Club and doing it all there?
Yes, I'm actually just walking down to Freo Yacht Club to do some more things on the boat. They've put me right out front of the restaurant. They're treating me so well at Freo. Easily one of the best clubs in Australia. And everyone around here has treated me well. The guys at Monkey Fist were treating me well. Everyone has just been so good to me.
Yeah, cool. And so do you need bodies to help you with work, or are you good?
Look, if anyone wants to lend a hand, I don't need a huge amount of labour, maybe one or two people every now and then. It would mean the world. There's some people I had a good mate of mine who helped me do the initial pack down. But if anyone would like to lend a hand, that'd be awesome.
So anyone listening, do reach out to us or go direct. Basically, they could go direct to your page, right, and contact you through there.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, which is the little aussielap.com. Check it out. And they'll be able to find all sorts of info there, how to get in contact and all sorts of stuff.
So
beautiful.
When you get going, mate, apart from pulling in for the brisket at Bicey's place, what's the routing that you're thinking, bud? You're going to swing wide off in the southern bight, or you're going to stick closer to the shore, or what?
Well, typically what I'm looking for is for my routing to line up that I'm doing a straight line from Lewin to Matsuka.
Yeah.
Really, in my mind, I'd like to at least go to Hobart in the next leg, do a proper Southern Ocean leg, and send it. I'm still gunning to be the youngest to do it and in the smallest boat, so I'm still going to give it my all. Still going to do it properly and, send it. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool.
Mate, sounds like it's currently 46 in Matsuka at the minute, so 46 knots, that is. But it's right up the coit, so fast sailing.
50 knots was okay for me. It's just I'm starting to think 80's a little much. Don't tell it.
One of the things I was going to say, bit of marine life activity in the northern hemisphere, in and around the Gibraltar Straits. Orcas coming in and biting and sinking boats. Have you seen much sea life out there, bud?
I did see that one that just sunk that boat. That's a bit nuts. On the East Coast, tons of sea life, tons of birds, tons of. It was so desolate. Which really shocked me. I didn't see anything for 20 days at least. It was just nothing, which shocked me.
You're behind.
So that was.
I was just going to say, bud, you're behind that trawler. You're just following up in its wake, and that's what.
Got all the birds.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to spend 5 days, 6 days just constantly scrubbing bird poo off the boat too. That was interesting.
Yeah. That's not good. Yeah. bloody mongrels.
Oh, good fun.
Yeah. So you'll kick off. You'll keep going, and as said, you can't get the record, but you can get those 2 records you just mentioned, youngest and smallest boat.
Yeah. So Lisa's won this round, and full respect to her.
Yeah,
There's been, I think, 3 or 4 people now that have attempted this record, and Lisa is the only one that has managed to make it round. It's bloody tough, I'll tell you that firsthand, and full respect. It's very admirable.
Mm.
Have you actually touched base with her?
Pardon?
Have you actually spoken to Lisa?
No, Lisa's actually...
Hey, she's on it. She's doing a reality show.
She's on,
she on Treasure Island or something like that?
Walk in on Monday at 6 p.m. to watch.
Mate, the future is bright, Zave. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
you got, mate, you hammer those bastards.
Love Island.
Love Island for you, Zave.
Love Island. Maths. Oh, mate.
Farmer wants a wife.
This will be a first. What's Bossy's favourite show?
Look, the future is limitless. I've got options. Reality TV's on the cards.
I love it. Oh, bloody! If they don't take you, Lee Randall will jump in. He loves a bit of attention.
I got to say, we'll take a little bit of a shout out for Lee Randall because he is doing the most at the moment. He's doing all the things he's doing with Cure. He's running my campaign. He's running his personal life, and that guy is kicking goals at the moment. And I appreciate him so much.
That's good. He's a good man.
Yeah.
Loves a mirror.
I hope it doesn't use yours, Jordan.
Yeah, good mates with you. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? You are, Jordan. You are.
Where did this come from?
Well,
any opportunity, my friend.
Yeah, and any door you leave open, we're going to push wider. Hey, Christ.
Let's get back to Xavier.
Yeah, right. So, Xavier, you're walking down the club. You're going to grab what time is it there now? We're recording, so it's like 6:30, 6 o'clock or something.
7 over here. It's
no one's out. No one's out. They're all at the football. So Frio's playing Richmond right now.
Yeah. I might get myself a little beverage and then start working on the insides of the boat and sealing some things up. And keep it on going. Keep it on.
Good man.
Cool.
Bloody good man.
Cool. All right. I think we might leave you in peace, bud. I think we'll be with you all the way through. But we're glad you're alive. Is the first thing we want to say. Everything else is secondary. Yeah.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Dave. So just remember the dry rubs for you, mate.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
I do appreciate your dry rubs, Bossy.
Oh, God. I hope that translates to every language, I tell you.
Mirror on the wall.
Oh, dear.
Well, mate, good luck. And, keep up the work with the telling the world what's going on. I guess the most important thing now is for all those that have been following, stay following, and look forward to the announcement of when you're leaving. I suppose that's really important.
Absolutely, and thank you, guys. I'll put it out to the world in shining lights.
All right, and while you're at it, public listeners, go to the fundraising part of the page as well. Donate a few bucks here. Those beverages don't come cheap over there. So let's get this thing happening.
I appreciate that, guys. Thanks.
All right,
Awesome,
buddy.
mate. Love your work.
Cheers.
I can vouch for how much room there isn't inside these boats. I'm not a small person. I'm a
normal size human.
Normal size human. And yes, they have a rule of 1.4 meters high inside the boat.
Yeah.
So you can't be below that. Obviously, above that is a waste of time. So you want to be designed to that height. So the boat is 1.4 meters. There's not much else down there. Obviously, they've got a full flotation rule as well. So basically, they have I guess like a bunk front, if you like, that goes from the bow V-berth area all the way down the sides, and that is fully filled with foam in the series boats, obviously. But it's not comfortable. It really isn't, and they do buck.
Yeah.
They're aggressive little boats. They're not, they're not slow for the size. There's a lot of performance about them. So, it's not comfortable. And so I definitely admire what he's doing, but I can understand how hard it is. That's a long, long way. I mean,
mate, how's the attitude though?
Yeah.
It's
just loving life.
Yeah.
Fuck it, how easy would it be just to chuck the towel in right now, just hating everything?
Yeah.
He's just digging it. Mate, it's bloody.
It's kind of soothing. It's
fantastic.
You say the youth of today. You look at, and I'm sure our parents did the same thing. The laziness and the complaining and whinging and all this that goes on. And here's Xavier out doing this. It's kind of what's the word? It's kind of
it's inspiring, Brett. That's what it is.
That's the word I'm digging for. Inspiring. Thanks for helping me out late on a Saturday night here. It's inspiring, but it's also nice to see someone out there, as you mentioned, Jay, having a good hard crack.
Yeah.
Sincerely hope he does drop in for a brisket now that it's on the cards.
Yeah.
So that'll be a turn up. We could go live
Live from the brisket.
Well, and for those that are into a bit of barbecuing, I often just gauge the length of my cook by how many beers. A brisket is a long cook. So it could be an interesting episode, that one.
Your cookbook's really cool, isn't it? So you go, we're going to cook the lamb chops today, and they're going to be cooked over a 2-beer period.
yeah, it's 2-beer cook for sure.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, lads, let's move on to some other news.
Get the run sheet out. Hang on.
I've thrown you.
I've got to get the run sheet.
Oh, yeah. Okay, paying attention.
I changed the page.
Club events. Big news, boys. I'm going to call it a club event, but I got a message this week from...
Message?
I did. I got a
in
message.
A bottle?
Got a
Chadwick.
message.
He sent me a note. The Finn Worlds are going to be in Queensland 2026. So we've been alluding to that.
In June? And they only race in the mornings and then they have massive lunches.
Not a bad call. But yeah, that it'll be unreal. So all the
And your little you were looking at getting one. You're is that right?
Well, we'll see. Oh,
now you're down to racing.
Now you're gonna.
Now you're racing, mate.
Yeah,
bloody hell.
It seems you only just don't get out of your backyard. It's just whatever comes to you, right?
Oh, that's not a bad call. Yeah, I like it. No,
you're not committed to any particular class. It's whatever comes to Mooloolaba.
All I think about, mate, I'll be honest. I guess I've got to get this on record. So I spent my whole life thinking about racing, right? My whole life. And about 2 years ago, I completely forgot about racing. And all I think about is cruising at the moment. That's all that's in my mind. But, yeah, it's
I think there's something wrong with
but
you.
it's still great catching up and going to the yacht club. But anyway, the Finns, it'll be unreal. And speaking of that, whilst we're mentioning and talking about Queensland, the Finns, their state champs will be on 15, 16 July with exactly the format that you boys just were talking about.
Yes.
It's going to be
love
great.
it.
So
love it.
Early morning races, long lunches. There's just going to be some hungover heads in the morning.
Yeah. Whilst we're still in Queensland, it's obviously, we talked about midwinter nationals, where the Florida... No, I won't say that. We're not the Florida.
So we've been to Florida, mate.
Yeah, not like that. Anyway, so you have, it's warm up here during winter. And so obviously the actuals come up and the VX ones are doing their thing again at the moment. I'm not sure why they both put them both on the same weekend. It's a bit of a bummer, but because I could go to both.
It's probably a slight crossover.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah. But anyway, they're on. So best of luck to everyone competing in those. And what is on right now in the UK is the Cape 31 Nationals, the UK Nationals, I guess. So they're underway, started Friday, I think. Yep, Friday. And
something like that. What was it, 30 boats or something?
Oh,
It'd be
something
stupid
like
and the amount of boats.
Yeah, and they're all at Hamble Yacht Services, so it's pretty impressive. When you go there to see them all there, and it's really, really a hiving scene, to be honest.
They're racing out of Royal Leamington Yacht Club for those over there. It will finish Sunday, so if you wake up and listen and you're near Leamington, rush down and see them because they're glamour boats. And at Prezzo on Sunday night, roast carvery.
Oh, the carvery's open. What have you
Oh.
been known to have a bit of a carvery down in Limo myself?
I love
Oh, carving up. Yeah, the carvery. Yeah, sorry, wrong one. But yeah.
Wrong carve. Wrong limo.
it. Idiots.
You
I don't
idiots.
know how I survive you two.
No.
Now, one that we need to add onto the list at the moment is the Australian Women's Keelboat Regatta,
Oh, yep.
which is taking place at the Royal Melbourne Yacht Squadron this weekend. So good luck to everyone. Well done to the winners by the time you all
this
listen
goes
to
to
this. Exactly. So congratulations. You sailed a fantastic regatta. Good stuff. So...
What about? Go on.
No, it's just growing from strength to strength, that particular regatta.
It is.
Of course, to be followed up in October, I think it is, with the SA Women's Keelboat Regatta, which has taken note from how they do things over in Vic in that regard. So, and I said it during last year's podcast after the SA Women's Keelboat Regatta, what a different scene the Yacht Club is.
Yeah.
When that is going on. And I could imagine right now at the Royal Melbourne Yacht Squadron would be going ballistic. So well done. Now that's having fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Talk about having fun. It's been popping up on my or on our feed a little bit. Is that bloody cloud break windsurfing in Fiji? Have you been seeing that?
Yes.
All footage come out
Unreal.
yesterday. Holy Jesus, that is insane.
Yeah. Unreal.
Like mast, double mast high bloody barrels almost.
Actual footage, Jordan Spencer, 1986 wave sailing series when he put up on Bjorn Dunkerbeck.
Mate, some of the moves they were pulling, it was just insane.
Oh, yes. Wicked in that.
It's not
So
me,
good.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
It didn't look like there was a lot of wind, but obviously they're just they're plugging out and then they're getting on these waves and just getting moving, surfing bloody things and going. But far out, those waves were big.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very impressive. Very impressive.
Whilst we're still on events, Jordan, one to throw in there is the Admiral's Cup.
Yeah.
I've got that right down the bottom.
Admiral's Cup.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
well,
right.
let's talk about
You're
it.
not reading your run sheet either, are you?
Yeah. That was
No, well, I thought this is more the appropriate area for it, given it will be an event held at a club, hence club events.
It's been absent for quite a while, hasn't it? So it'll start back in 2025. So I'm just trying to read how many people
Still trying
in
to
the
work
team.
out the format. They're obviously it's coming back.
2 boats, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Look,
Yep.
Yeah, they're still trying to work out the format, so it'll be interesting to see what they actually come up with. Because what they were saying, I was reading today was that boats have changed as well, and there's opportunities to do it in a way that is lending itself to sort of the modern sailing. So it'll be interesting to see. We might see some sort of shorter handing type of stuff there, which could be interesting.
Doing it.
I would like to put forward something like that. That would be cool.
Oh, your chances now, BP. Elevator pitch. Go for it.
No, I'm actually throwing it in there.
So no, it's a good idea. All right, so let's have double handers for 30-foot double handers in, I don't know, maybe an X2 or something. Right, perfect, done.
Done
okay.
deal.
Here's something for the organisers of
Right,
the
here we
Admiral's
go.
Cup. Love it.
Listen up, organisers, because he doesn't give away this free information very often.
It's the RORC, so the Royal Ocean Racing Club. Great friends of ours, and they're very smart people, and they do listen to the show. Build another trophy. I'll tell you why. Because the Aussies won it last. I'm sure it's lost.
It's lost by now.
It's been a while.
You can just imagine the old boys now who won it last. Hey, mate, did you take that trophy home from the club that night? Oh, mate, I got no idea.
I have no idea where it is. I don't know. Anyway.
Was in the back seat of Jono's ute.
Yeah. It could be in the Chimera or the Kingswood.
Yeah, or the Tirana. Might be in the Tirana or the Chimera, or maybe the Commodore.
Anyway.
For international people, you got no idea, have you?
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we got that one done and dusted. Let's go on to Jack Lloyd, listener of the week, shall we?
We're starting to have a bit of fun, aren't we? We're starting to have a bit of fun.
This is
You're going
the
for this
ultimate.
one?
This is 3 ticks from us. It's 3 yeses. we were actually waiting for one of us to say, let's do this, and then we all jumped on it once one of us said. So, Boise,
I think
I'll throw it at you.
my exact response was that it's a hell yeah from me.
Right. Well, let's tell the listeners what we're all so excited about. Go, boys.
Right. What we are excited. Oh, shall we go for the other one first? That's not going to win a merchandise pack.
Holding them in suspense. We're holding them in
suspense. It's a bad week to be the second here.
All right. So Dave Fuller sent in a note, which was a good one because on the 7th of June, it was World Oceans Day. We just thought we'd mention it. Obviously, there's a lot going on, and as sailors, the oceans mean a hell of a lot to us. So there's a lot of different initiatives going on. Maybe you could even check out Ocean Crusaders and just see if there's anything there that you can contribute to in any ways. You know, we do lead the way when it comes to the oceans. And even just every time you pick up a product or think about mooring in a quiet bay, enjoying the freedom that sailing provides and seeing a plastic food wrapper or a piece of polystyrene foam float by, then choose which product you buy, which is pretty critical. It's even in our racing rules now, not throwing anything overboard. We do, a lot of sailors volunteer to clean up the waterways and do all that sort of thing. So it's a pretty, it's a great message in all honesty.
It is. Yeah. It is.
Super grateful for Dave Fuller just to remind us. We, of course, were aware, but it's a good chance for us to put it on the show. So high five.
It should be World Oceans Day every day, though.
Yes.
Well, it's World Gin Day today. So
I was going to say World Ginger Day.
Bottoms up. World Ginger Day.
Did you guys
it's World Ginger Day every day for Jordan.
You watched that episode of Letterkenny I sent you?
Oh my God.
Oh, I love it.
Only about 12 times. I watched it in the golf club the other day.
Pitter patter. We're not talking about Letterkenny.
Anyway, all right, we'll bring that back when we
until our next guest.
Okay.
Liz from Canada. I've got a lot of questions for her.
Yep. Righto. Go, boss.
Chris Bolger, our friend Chris Bolger from the NWSA, which is the Narragansett Adult Athletic Sailing Association, which we've spoken about before, who is putting the F18 league up. So this is from him. So the 2023 NASA F18 league is starting up. We had chatted about reciprocating nice shout-outs with a little bar karate promo. I have an opportunity. But
have we got an opportunity for you?
Do you want promotion? You keep saying that you aren't selling anything. Soon to change. And you do a damn good job of it. Well, going on this week as well, sure. BP. And I believe you love the sport and enjoy the pod, but is there a commercial angle here anywhere? Our boats he's given a bit of a mock-up of an F18. This is what the livery looks like. We have 2 teams with silent sponsors, so we could put a bar karate livery on an F18.
Livery, the word.
They look
livery.
Cool zooming around the Narragansett, especially around all the lead mines in Newport. Just an idea, but let's chat if you're interested. Well, Chris, we're chatting right now, my friend, and it's a hell yeah from me. That's one.
Oh, yeah, there was.
All right, shall we put it to a vote?
Yeah, all those in favour say.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Oh, here, Mr. Technical here. Mr. Technical, yeah.
Are we genuinely going to give our name to a bunch of catwhackers?
Oh, hang on. Next.
I didn't think about that.
Absolutely.
No.
Love it. Love what
mate.
Chris does. He's
absolutely.
He does a lot. And that whole NASA thing where they're trying to teach that whole professional element of sailing with the F18s. And they're doing, for the Aussies who don't understand, they're kind of modelled a bit on the 18s, I guess. He's really having a red hot go. And so, given youth teams and women teams the opportunity. So I don't know where all the money comes from, but he seems to make it.
Well,
happen,
there's
so.
two silent partners, sponsors. So,
So good on them.
that's yeah. So, no worries, Chris. We'll chat during the week. I'll get the artwork over. I like it.
Yeah.
No. And not
We
only
haven't
will
voted
there
yet,
be
guys. We
artwork,
haven't
there'll be a
voted though yet,
merchandise
Bicey.
pack. 100% merchandise pack this time.
Yeah.
We haven't
23% of the
voted
time.
yet though, Bicey. We haven't voted yet.
It's a no-brainer.
Sorry, voting. Yeah, the
You
ayes
gotta
have it.
vote.
Yeah.
All those in favour, say aye.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Wankers.
Absolute peanuts.
It's hot time with Bice.
That again.
I'll tell you one thing I'd like to be doing now, man. How's this for a brand? Competing in the Giorgio Armani Suit Yacht Regatta in Porto this week.
Oh.
How would that be going?
Well, we all know
That'd
we love.
be a bit
We
of
all
fun.
know our love for Portacervo.
Oh, here. So that was just worth a quick mention. Still going on as we speak.
Yep.
But yeah, got solid amount of boats just swanning around. Well, pardon the pun, a couple there, but also some of the big gear just sending it down Bomb Alley. So that wouldn't be a bad place to be. Now, all right, gents, Ocean Race has just departed Aarhus.
Yeah.
They did the inshore stuff. Yep, it was all pretty cool, non-eventful type thing. But what has happened is and of course the 65s have rejoined in the race out of Aarhus, and they are currently on their way as at time of recording heading down the Norwegian around Norway somewhere at the moment.
Yep.
But they're heading into The Hague for a little action. But the 60s have gone via Kiel.
Yeah.
So almost 22 years, I think it was, since the race was in Kiel, which quite the spectacle, because there's a lot of sailing fans in that particular area. And from the footage I saw, and it was just perfect weather, and it was during daytime. Whether that's a setup or not, I'm not entirely sure. But plenty of boats out on water coming through with big fans for, of course, our friends Boris and Team Europe. So well done to them. I think 11th hour took the chockies on getting out through first, with Hollisum coming through second. Speaking of which, and we're not going to speak too much of this, but we did see during the week that our friend Kevin Escoffier has stepped down as skipper. We are unaware of the exact circumstances. He has said it's for personal reasons. So we want to give both him and the team a bit of space and let them sort that out. But as in yachting, whatever is going on, we'll be finding out at some point in time. So, but we'll leave them to it. And, have you got the tracker up there at the minute?
I do.
J-Dog?
Yeah, I do.
And want to give us a little update? Admittedly, it means nothing because you'll be listening to this 36 hours after we've recorded.
Well, they've only got, it's not very long, so getting into The Hague. Obviously, a lot of exclusion zones to dodge and weave coming in through there. And it gets quite shallow, just for those who don't know that region. We saw that winning move at the end of the last race where one team elected to go straight over the shoals. Anyway,
basically got inside the exclusion zone. Whereas a lot of the others went on the outside. So,
and that may actually come into play.
Move be absolutely.
Yeah, so you're pretty much exactly right. They're zooming down, heading south, all of them. The 60s coming along the coast and the 65s a bit offshore, heading in. If we focus in on the 60s, the 11th hour is currently holding the lead. It's interesting that, with 11th hour, like right at the top of the ladder now, and their boat has been designed with that ability to go upwind a bit better. In
these moderate sort of light moderate shifty upwind conditions, it's starting to
it could coming into its own. It might become more and more difficult. But Wholesome's right there. Biotherm, and then Malizia has just jumped up. But there's not much distance between them. I guess Goyo is at the back a little bit, but the lead is about 20 mile at the moment. So the intensity will be on for sure, absolutely for sure. And in the 65s, a Wind Whisper racing team currently leads by 5 miles to Tim Jael. And then Mirapui is out with another 14 to go. And they've got about the same distance into the finish. As I said, they've had to go out. They've got a little rounding mark they had to pop out to, and now they're bashing their head upwind.
Race director Phil Lawrence he's done it again. They'll just be coming in at the right time. It's perfect.
Phil Lawrence. Hey, filthy Phil.
Well done.
Anyway,
well done.
Ocean Race underway. We're still massive fans, so yeah, can't turn our heads away. But yeah, best of luck to everyone. Everyone stay safe. What else you got?
Oh no, that's all I've got.
That's all you got?
Yep.
Anything you want to bring up there, BP?
Oh, well, we did get a little bit of a note today. Didn't get the name of the guy, but you probably can help me out there with the Moth Worlds.
Oh yeah,
Wanted to rub in the palms a bit.
Yeah, no, that's true. So the Moth Worlds are underway. So the pre-Worlds, so the Worlds in the UK, 17th to 18th. Pre-Worlds, it can it mean stuff? Might it mean stuff? Like
well, you'd want to think that you're out there, fine tuning, right?
Yeah. Well, I'd be interested to see what happens. But anyway, the banter was that. The Poms are right down the ladder at the moment. A Kiwi is actually leading in the pre-world. So Jacob Pye.
Kiwi, Aussie, German, French, and Spanish.
Yeah.
French.
So the
Frenchman.
A Frenchman.
Tommy Burton from Oz in second. Juan Cardona. Yay. From Spain. Yeah. And Jean Baptiste Benaz. Gee, it's a lot of friends on there.
Jean Baptiste.
Yeah, I know. That's it. I've got a beautiful pronunciation. But anyway, there's a lot. It's a very. There's a lot of punters there. It's one of the classes where like if you go to an actual Worlds, wherever a country is going to be dominated by that country, but here there's just a huge spread of people with the Moth because basically it's your carry on hand luggage really these days, isn't it?
Yeah, just put it up the top there.
But
gents one I didn't mention, and we didn't. We, at time of recording last week, didn't have the final results, but the 52 Super Series that was sold last week. Pravesta takes it out, who sailed a very consistent back end of the regatta, apart from a lazy 10th at some point, but they took it out. And so the inside info, though, they are one of the only teams that changed their foils this season. So keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this little space. So well done to them. And worth mentioning, Vau, the new team to the 52 series,
the Thai
came
team,
in a very creditable third.
The Thai team,
mind you. Yes, here. So
very
cool.
That is very cool because like that circuit. If you look at that circuit, not much has changed in terms of we had the Japanese come in with sled, quite a few years ago, but there hasn't been much changing, has there? Really, since it's good to see.
Yeah.
By the way, boys, I'm spinning down through the moths just to see who's there. And our friend Emily Nagel's there, and so is Josie Glidden. So good luck to those two ladies.
Well, we've got quite a few Barcaradians in this regatta.
There's quite a few Barcaradians in this regatta, funnily enough. We
still got to do the forestay flag. They'll look good on the moths.
Yeah. With a bit of VB cord.
What else?
Look, you've got Return of the Admirals Cup here.
Yeah, no, that's right. The other one, the last thing I'll mention is that now the Star Sailors League are going to start ranking the Opti kids into it. So I'm going to be pushed even lower now.
Oh, well, at least you've got a ranking.
I'll be behind your niece, Bossy.
Yeah, no, we should add a bit more competitiveness to the 9-year-olds. It'll be good for the class, I reckon. Good for the association,
that's what they
good
need.
for sailing in general.
Yeah, that's what they need. I'm number 44.
And I'm just going to put this out there, and people in Adelaide, only people in Adelaide will know this, who are friends with Tim Went on Facebook.
Oh,
But,
he's been slammed down.
Put a little rant on about opties and going fast, and Tucker's little column that we did speak about.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Did that get some comments going?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone,
it's like that game where the
2
shark
cents
comes up and you got to hit it with the hammer.
We definitely know when we're running a live panel one day for Bar Karate, we definitely know what the subject's going to be.
Yeah.
And that's 100% it. Might end up in fisticuffs, but normal night, I guess. Down the Oddie.
Pitter patter.
Pitter patter.
Just before we sign off, of course, this week, of course, is the Rolex Duralia. Is on as well. So that's a big one in Saint-Tropez for the punters.
Done that a couple of times. You guys done that race?
No.
Anyone?
No.
It's a Negatoro per Favore.
It's a big offshore race. Obviously, a few little inshore races build up. It's a bit like the old Southern Cross days before the Hobart.
Hey, have you checked the entrance? Golly gosh.
Give me some.
Plenty of boats on the start line.
Golly gosh.
Oh, just numbers.
Plenty of boats on the
The big blackjack's doing it, right?
Huge numbers. So,
best of luck to everyone.
Well, a prominent one for sure.
Yeah, no, it's a great race.
Happy days.
Righto.
Happy days. Good work, lads. I think that's us, isn't it? Is there anything else
That's
that we need to
shut it down? Get out the guitar.
Oh, again.
Break her out.
We might have to record this one day so it's easier.
Don't be silly.
I'm sitting there going, what are you? Oh, yeah.
Mate, you're getting heaps better at it, though.
Oh, well, the thing is, you keep chopping changing me. You just want me to start at different spots all the time.
Oh, it's a real skill that you can just jump in at any time, BP. And
Well,
it's like
it's good because I played bass drums and sang and did the rhythm and lead guitar and a whole lot. So
you're the prince.
Talk and sing at the same time.
You're the prince. You're the prince of our whole team, I tell you.
Oh, fucking A.
Hey, listeners, thanks for joining us as per usual.
Thanks, listeners.
Appreciate it.
Big one next week. Rock and roll.